What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we have a mountain of work to do. It's probably going to be my longest video to date, just simply based on what we've got going on today. If any of you have been watching the community page, I've been putting little snippets out there showing you what I'm doing. I didn't record some of this stuff because, let's just be honest, who wants to watch me wire, wheel, and paint for 8 hours? Nobody. I mean, I didn't even want to do it, let alone have to watch. So let me flip you around, show you the status of Homer, where he currently stands, what we're going to do today, possibly into tomorrow, but nevertheless, it's all going to be in today's video. A lot of you have asked about this Z28 Camaro behind me. I'll kind of give you a little bit of information on that. But anyway, let's get after it. This is Buster Radio Garage. All right, here is the current status of Homer. He still doesn't have an engine. I'm hoping that will be here today. But the inside is completely wire-wheeled, POR 15, and painted. We've got a couple little patch panels to make here and over there. Typical Mopar, or typical 70s car, rather. Dash is completely gutted. There's no wiring, nothing in this car. Doors are bare, nothing's there. We are going to fix all of that issue today, and I'll show you what we're going to do there. Trunk is all ready for fuel cell and battery box. It's dirty from wire wheeling, so we'll get that all cleaned out, and I have to get the final coat of paint on that anyway. So let me show you what we got. Y'all please forgive me for the shop. It is an absolute disaster in here. There's crap everywhere. But anyway, right here I've got a pretty good stack of cardboard. It's the thin malleable cardboard, something you can bend and move around. And that is going to be used for templates for our door panels and our floorboards we're going to make for Homer. And here are some road signs that a subscriber got for me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we're going to utilize those in the car, along with some license plates from some of you subscribers and members that you sent me for this very project. And then, as you can see, I have got a wide variety of street signs hanging up in the shop, and I've got some out in the barn. So we are going to use street signs and license plates and some other fun stuff to do Homer's interior. And the first two things on the agenda, like I said a second ago, are going to be these door panels. So we're going to take that cardboard, bring it over here, make some templates, find a big enough sign, and make us some door panels. So cool. And then hopefully while we're doing all this, my engine shows up. And then we're going to get that engine placed. And we're going to build it up with all this good stuff. All right, guys, what I've got here is a piece of that cardboard. And then I have the original 300 door panel that was on this car, on this door. So it's just kind of like using in school, right? You lay an object down, you trace it out, and then you cut it out, and you go from there. Same process. So I'm going to trace this out, cut the cardboard, take it over here, put it on the door, do my final trimming, make sure I like the way it sits, and then we'll transfer that to a sign, cut the sign out, so on and so forth, and see what it looks like on the door. All right, guys, there we go. First panel kind of cut out. It's just a rough for now. We'll find a road sign over there, and I think I found one. I'll take you over and show you in a minute. And we'll transfer this over to the road sign, cut it out probably an 1/8 of an inch big all the way around, and then we got some room to trim. But for the most part, I think that's going to look pretty cool. All right, so I was scouring my walls here, and I'm kind of digging this road close sign for the one door. And then this turn only sign over here for the other door. And that'll clear up my door panels. And then I'll go out to the barn and get a couple other signs to put there for those. But I think those are going to work out pretty good. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is get that road close sign down and transfer this template over to that sign and slap it on here real quick. Make sure it's going to fit well. And when it does, we'll go ahead and paint all this white, black to match the inside of the car. And get her hung on there and see what it looks like. And then this here is all going to get painted to match the car, which I'll show you on a later episode. But anyway, let's get this hung, see what it looks like. We'll go over and get that door, get that one done, and then we'll start in here. All right, guys, got the road closed sign up here on my workbench, aka trash can. And it's going to work out pretty perfect with the road closed portion of the sign. So I'm going to just dial it in here, get it kind of where I want it. And then we'll get the old jigsaw out, get this cut out, and we'll try it on the car. I'm gonna cut it a little bit bigger than the stencil, which gives me a little bit of room to trim. I'd rather have a little too much than not enough. And then we'll transfer over to the other door and get that done. All right, you guys, heck yeah. There is the driver's door with the road closed sign. Went ahead and got everything all painted up here. All the exposed, that would have been white or looked kind of jakey. Got it painted with DE 1635 semi-gloss black. So that door, for all intents and purposes, is done. Gonna have to wipe everything back off. But what's cool, now imagine what this is going to look like at night if we're under the lights with Homer, right? He's going to have reflective decals, neon lights underneath the car with his paint job, that bright green sticking out with all that chrome, and then all these signs that you're going to be able to see inside the car are also going to be reflective. He's going to look wicked out there running around. So, all right, road closed on that door. Let's get started on that one over there and get that sign over there down and cut. And then we're going to start on these floorboards. I've got one patch here, one patch over there, and a small patch there. And then I've got to block this in back here, get it secure, and then we will paint the final coat of paint on Homer's trunk, get the fuel cell, the battery box put in, and we'll just keep pecking on. Now, like I said, this is going to be a long day, or a long couple days, but yeah, looking cool. All right, guys, going ahead and get this side painted, touched up, because I'll be able to use the same stencil from over there. I just got to flip it around, and we'll be able to put it right on this door. So no cutting the stencil twice. So I'm going to go ahead and get this kind of painted, you know, if you will. And when we get the other sign cut up, we can just slap it right under here and pull with it. So just want to get this kind of touched up so it can dry a little bit. Get a little bit of fish eyes down in here, but who cares? You're not going to be able to see it behind the sign. And then we're going to get going on the inside. Cool. Hang tight. All right, guys. Here's the sign I chose for the other door. The main reason is there's actually two. It's one that will fit the entire door panel. And two, it's kind of like if I forget what I'm doing in the burnout pad, it's just like go straight and then whip it around left. So if anything else, it'll add for instructions for me when I get like old, which is kind of too late. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut this one out, throw it on that other door. All right, guys, good deal. So we got both door cards made. This one here, which turned out pretty cool. Had to massage it a little bit there to get it to fit, but no big deal. And then we've got the road closed door panel over there on the driver's side. So now we need to get this floor pan made and that floor pan made over there. And I got a little dinky patch there to make, but no big deal. And then we have to close in this back section, so we'll get a sign cut up for that. Might be able to get these seats put in. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start this floor pan. I actually already made that one there, which was pretty simple to do. I just got to bolt it down. So we're going to go ahead and start on this driver's side floor pan. And as you can see, I got, you know, some few holes up there, but it's starting to pit really good. So just going to take a piece of cardboard and get everything kind of where it needs to start to go, kind of like right there up here in this corner. And then just work my way around and trim it up as I need it so I can get the metal one cut, and then we'll just kind of massage it, essentially beat it down with a hammer to get it to match up, and then get it bolted down in place. And then I got one little patch over there, and this is going to be ready to go. All right, guys, there we go. So this is pretty much good to go. I'm sure I'll have to do a little bit of nipping and grinding and what have you, and beating, if it makes sense, to get this all to lay down perfect, because the sign's not going to be as pliable as the cardboard. It's going to be super rigid, so we're going to have to do some massaging. All right, we got that cut. Fits pretty good. We're going to have to do some massaging, like right up here by the trans tunnel. But other than that, once we get her beat down into place. All right, guys, cool. So I think I have the majority, if not all, of the sheet metal work done in the car that I'm going to do for this season. Let me flip you around and show you what we got. All right, so here's the driver's door, passenger door that you seen yesterday. Got all the panels put in the floor, got those painted. Got the back panel made and painted. It's all in place. Everything looks really good. So now, gonna focus on these seats. And here's the factory set of seat tracks, which I think I'm gonna be able to use, to be honest with you. So I bought essentially the cheapest seats that Summit makes. And then they've come drilled and set up for bolts already. So what I've done is I've taken the factory bracket from the seat. I'm going to use the original factory hole here and then drill the second hole roughly right there. Same at the top and the bottom. Ran into my transmission. I got to move that thing. Bolted into the factory tracks. And if I can use the adjuster, that would be cool. If not, I'm not worried about it. So I already have one over here on my press. So here is the factory hole. And then 7 7/16 over, I'm drilling another hole rather. And then we're going to mount this to the seat. We'll rinse and repeat with the second one. And then we'll try to get everything mounted to this track using the other factory hole, which is here. And everything should ride pretty square, I'm hoping. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and drill that one out. And we'll kind of see where everything falls. If it all works, we'll do it again for the second bracket. And then we'll move over to the other seat, third and fourth bracket, get those in, get those mounted. Then we'll take everything back apart, paint the tracks, make them look somewhat nice, put them back in the car, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully we'll move on to the dash and just keep on trucking. So let's get to drilling some holes. All right, let me get something to cover my eyes. Comes to spinning pieces of hot metal. I'm not chancing. Oh, you gotta love that sound. All right, guys, I got the seat brackets somewhat cleaned up. I'm gonna do a little more wire wheeling on them. Got my brackets made to mount the seats to the brackets, and then obviously these brackets come with the hardware to mount them to the floor. And then we'll kind of position the seat to where it's comfortable, and then we'll get the belts mounted, and I'll actually put the bolts in the floor this time. If you know, you know, right? And then we will get the passenger seat done the same way. And then I reckon we'll get started on this dash. We'll just kind of get an idea where everything's going to go, because we got to do the wiring yet, which I'm waiting on my engine still, obviously. And then the racing transmission from Cope. So it's all going to come together in a hurry. But anyway, let's get this seat mounted and see what it looks like. What's up, guys? Jumping in here real quick. We got the call. Homer's engine is done. So we're going to go snag up on it real quick and get it back in the car. Awesome. Had to stop and get a couple straps real quick, because the ones I used, I did not bring like an idiot. These will work. All right, guys, check us out. We got Homer's motor back. Let me flip you around. Boom, there it is. So guess what? I'm going to abandon all this jazz. I'm going to start putting this engine together for everybody. So let's get assembling Homer's engine. All right, guys, things have escalated quite a bit since the last time I checked in, but let me spin you around. As you can see, we've got some work done here. I'll show you what we got going on. All right, essentially, we've got the engine placed back in, bolted down, intake put on. I had to order and install a 2-inch spacer in order for my distributor to fit. But in doing that, my belt is too short. So I have to order another belt tomorrow and get that essentially overnighted here, rushed here, if nothing else. Got the blower installed. I'm still waiting on the carburetors and the linkage. And then we'll have the carburetor spacer that goes here. And then up here, we'll go the blower hat. So, it's going to be up here a little bit. In order to get all this put on, to get my bottom crank bolt put in, get this pulley, essentially the blower pulley put on, and the spacer, I had to take the radiator back out. So all of that really slow, nice work to get that input in flawlessly is gone now. So I've got it over there. I'm gonna go ahead and slap it back in real quick and get it done. And then essentially just wait on more parts. Got this pretty much dialed in like you seen earlier in the video. I did get a call from John Cope up there at Cope Racing Transmissions in, I think it's Lowell, Indiana. So we're gonna shoot up there first thing in the morning around 4 o'clock and get our transmission and get back here with it. And that'll be ready to go. So we'll be able to install our transmission, our shifter, our drive shaft, get all that connected. And once the parts get here for the engine, we're gonna be ready to get this pretty much buttoned up and ready to fire off for the first time. Let it break in, and try not to blow the engine again. And then we're gonna be ready. Man, this is gonna be awesome. So let's get this radiator put in real quick. I'm gonna call today, because again, I'm gonna get up about 3, get out of here at 4, and start heading to Lowell, Indiana, and get our transmission. So let's get this radiator put in real quick. Boys and girls, I cannot wait to get to Florida and run this car. Absolutely cannot wait. I'm here to tell you the competition down there this year is gonna be fierce. I mean, it's tough anyway, but got a bunch of boys and girls coming over from Australia to run. And as we all know, or if you don't know, they are literally the best in the world. And A game is going to be like unreal. I mean, cars going to have to run flawless, drivers going to have to be flawless, and we both know that I'm neither one of those. So, it's going to be a whole lot of luck, I think. And I dropped my washer. It'd like to hurt my soul to take this thing back out of the car. Hated doing it, but just no room. And I figured I'd have all the room in the world in here, but man, it is filling up in a hurry. I mean, I think I've got maybe an inch between my fans and my blower pulleys. I might have to put the fans on the front side and run them in reverse. But then I got to run a big massive trans cooler to keep the transmission cool. May have to put that in the back seat. I don't know, hanging out the back window. It's hard telling, but we'll get it figured out. If you guys have made it this long, I appreciate you. I really don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be a minute or two anyway. Well, come on, Fair. Jeez. I can't wait to see what this little small block does with all this. It's going to be unbelievable. Then, we get started on Linda, which is going to be a whole nother deal. If you're new to the channel, you might not understand that, but if you've been here a minute, you know the fight that's going to be. Does not want to work with me at all, always wants to fight, and enjoys every bit of it. Evil. Alright guys, give me a few minutes to button this up. I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, there we go. So we got the radiator reinstalled. It's all bolted back down. Still have to wait on my electric water pump so we can get all that dialed in. Nothing's really changed on the engine since the last time I talked to you. We'll start waiting on the carburetor, linkage, and all that jazz so we can get that hooked up. Electrical is not going to be that big a deal. We'll get to that next time. Still got to finish up the seats, but again, that's not that big a deal. We'll get to that next time because we got to get the dash kind of rebuilt. Fuel cell and everything's back out of the car while the final coat of paint dries. So that's pretty much all ready to go. So now I'm going to get packed up, get ready to go for in the morning so I can head out to Lowell, Indiana to meet Mr. John Cope at Cope Racing Transmissions and get our new 727 transmission for Homer. So, see y'all tomorrow. All right, guys, just made it back from Lowell, Indiana. I believe I'm saying that correctly. But went and picked up our new transmission from John Cope over at Cope Racing Transmissions. And I'll tell you what, talking about a killer outfit up there, man. Professional, great conversation with those guys. His shop is phenomenal. Love the cars. His guys are cool. I mean, really cool outfit. But just wanted to say that real quick. You talking about a haul now. 12 hours round trip to go get a transmission. I'm not complaining, but it's been a minute since I've done that. But anyway, let me get this thing out of the truck real quick down here on the dolly, and we'll show everybody what we got. Where's my dolly? There it is. Y'all never use one of these things. They're handy in your shirt pocket. This is like a little $10 dolly from up there at Hobo Freight or Harbor Freight, whatever you want to call it. And the trans pan sits perfect on one of these. Now I'm just going to see if I can't keep from blowing something out, getting this thing out of here. Woo! Smokes! Come on, big girl. Look at that. Just like downtown. Cool. There we go, guys. Very cool. I cannot wait to get this in the car and see what Homer can do with it. Very cool. All nice new. I mean, this thing's freaking awesome. Love it. Mr. Cope, thank you very much, sir. All right, we are still waiting for the torque converter. Those get drop shipped here from them. So once it gets here, we'll get the transmission put in, get it all bolted down, ready to go. Get the drive shaft done. I've got something pretty cool with that I'm gonna do. Never done it before, but I'm gonna do it just for me and you. I think it's gonna look neat. Get the rear end straightened out. We gotta drain all that, clean that up. That's probably pretty gamey. And yeah, keep going on our boy back here. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode. We'll catch you on the next one when we get all this put in and hopefully get him fired up for everybody. We appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next time. BRG out.